Hey,
Hey.
what? I'm not sure anybody can see me.
Oh, is there a way I can get on Facebook and try and find us?
I don't know. Maybe do it and nobody can see me, which is totally fine because I
I,
won't.
I don't I
I
don't want them to see just me. Oh,
well,
wait. Hold on. I see both of us.
you see,
One
but
person. Yeah, one person is hi.
oh, good. I can hear myself through your computer. Okay, so you got to turn that off because that'll distract me.
Okay,
I
sorry.
have a viewer. All right, we're going. So,
That was I was viewing it. We
oh,
had one viewer. That was me.
viewer. Look at us. I was going to say, oh, well, maybe or maybe not, they'll be able to see. Do you see the giant thing of fast food trash that I just cleaned out of my car?
I love it. I
Because
love
this is
it.
what happens when you're moving.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's like you eat mass quantities of fast food.
Yep.
Or here's my strategy, people. For those of you who don't know that I'm moving from Rhode Island down to Florida. The moving trucks come in 3 weeks. Now you would think that logic would dictate that the last thing that you would pack would be your kitchen. Nope. I packed my kitchen. You want to know
All
why?
right. Why?
Because now I don't have to cook dinner or do dishes for 3 weeks. Boom. Oh.
Sorry, guys. No cooking for you. You're doing it right, Abby.
I'm like, oh, I hate that you're hungry. Here's a paper bowl and some cereal.
Here's an applesauce packet.
Here's
and
a
some
paper
crackers.
and some, yeah. So that's how we're rolling around the Matthews house right now. So
I like it.
no one's watching, but hey,
Can you tell how many people are watching? Oh, it says viewers.
yeah, it says 0.
We can say whatever we want then.
Ever we want.
It's like Westworld. Did you watch Westworld?
No, I have no clue what Westworld is.
It's an HBO thing, and basically, I don't know. That was just what they were saying last night when I was watching it. You can say whatever you want, you can do whatever you want, and no one's watching.
It's Westworld. So
it's Westworld. Somebody's gonna see this later, though.
Yeah, so I guess we could talk about what to do when you get stuck in your writing, right?
Right? Okay. Question number 1.
I have some good things to say. Do you have some good things to say? Because I have some good things to say.
I probably have some good things to say. I think the first thing you would have to ask yourself is, how do you know when you're stuck?
Yeah, and you know what? There's so many different ways to be stuck, and that's
true.
That's the thing that's tough. So, like, sometimes you're like staring at the screen, and all you see is that blank page with the blinking cursor. Like, that's pretty obvious. You're stuck right there, right?
And it feels horrible.
Feels terrible.
Yeah.
But then there are other times when you're stuck, like you've been writing, and all of a sudden it's like you slam into a brick wall. So the words on the page, but you're like, what do I do now?
Yep.
And then there's that get stuck where it's like, well, I finished a manuscript, but it stinks.
Ooh, that's the worst kind of stuck.
Who's been there, Melanie Parrish? Who's been there?
I never finished it. That's my secret. I never finished anything. I had 65,000 words, though, which is a lot of crap.
I mean, that's a manuscript right there. I mean,
yeah.
It may not have
one viewer.
You might not have
one viewer. Hello, viewer. Hello. I'm sorry. I got excited. We had a viewer. Okay. If you want to know how I know that I was stuck with my 65,000 word manuscript, I'll tell you. Please. I hated it. I hated working on it. I didn't want to look at it because the problems were so like immense and just in every single part of it that I didn't even want to deal with it because it was just too much. It was 65,000 words of problems and logic problems, character problems, story problems, things that didn't make sense,
was
random tangents.
That you didn't even want to go back and look at it? I mean, you couldn't. You didn't know where to start to fix it.
No, I didn't know where to start to fix it. And yeah, if you remember this time last year, it was about this time last year, I called you over something or other. Oh, it was because you had met Jenny in Boston, and you're like, she's like, you said something about editors, and I was like, you wrote a book? you have an editor? So anyway.
I was like, no, I can't write a book. That's why I got a book coach.
Well, anyway.
You're coming to it with me.
Yes. Well, at that point in time, I remember telling you on the phone, I was like, you know what? I'm going to quit. I'm going to throw it away. I'm done with it. I don't want to do it anymore.
You were going to hit delete.
I was going to delete the whole thing. It was going to be really cleansing and fun.
And I'm really glad you didn't.
I'm glad I didn't too, because it's so much better now. I
mean, so the big thing that we did, like the big thing was we got professional help. I mean, kind of like when you feel a little crazy and you need to go to the therapist. It was sort of like that. Only a therapist for our writing life. So, I mean, we got a book coach. We found help. You don't necessarily have to get a book coach. We did. She's amazing. I don't think she's taken on clients anymore, but
but the rest of their author accelerator team is, right?
But, that was the big thing we did. But you can find help in a variety of different ways. I don't know where I'm going with that next sentence. I
know where you're going with it.
Okay, go for it.
Help. Okay, so there's a lot of different places you can get help. You can get help on writing groups like this one and in person. I am there right now. I'm sorry, I am there right now.
I'm so sorry to our one viewer, but we cannot see names of who's there. So, like,
we love you.
In the comments, we'll say, hey, whoever it is.
Yes. Hey, commenter number 1.
So happy to see you.
I feel you, and I have also been there. Writing groups, and then I would suggest finding some beta readers. Just because even though, I mean, if you find a beta reader who loves to read and also loves to read your genre, that's like striking gold, first of all, because they get to read like awesome, fresh stuff, and you get their hopefully kind and unfiltered opinion.
They might not know how to tell you to fix what's wrong, but
that is true.
Tell you what's wrong so that
that's true.
You have an idea of where to go to fix it.
Yeah. The thing to remember about that is that beta readers are not necessarily professionals, and therefore a lot of the things that you can hear are kind of subjective preferences. And so things like, I don't like character X's personality. Like, you're just like, well,
maybe they're supposed to be a jerk, you know?
Yeah. But if it's like, this scene doesn't make sense, that's a valuable criticism.
They're keeping us in suspense.
Yay, who could it be?
Evil geniuses.
I love it.
So, so that's a really good point, that you can find help with beta readers. And, writing groups, the same thing. I think the thing with writing groups that you need to keep in mind, though, is if you find someone you need to find someone who is ahead of you in this game.
Yes.
You need to find someone who has successfully finished a book.
A mentor.
A mentor. That's I think key, because if you find someone else who's just as lost in the woods as you are, it's going to be the blind leading the blind. And so that's kind of tough. Now, but what if you're stuck and you're just regular old stuck while you're writing? So,
writer's block? Yeah.
Well, I don't even know if it's, maybe writer's block would be the best way to talk about it. But Aleda, are you the person who's out there, the evil genius who's keeping us in suspense? Can I use you?
There's 2 of them now.
There's 2 people out there.
I know.
Okay, so they're playing jokes on us because the second person is also not going to tell us who they are.
Okay, that's fine. We don't need to know.
Fair enough, people. Fair enough. Can I use, Aleda, hopefully she won't be mad at me for using her as an example, but she has the best, I know she's stuck right now, and she posted in our little private group that she's stuck on a character. And I think this happens pretty frequently in writing. You get stuck on one detail. There's a detail that you just can't work out. And Jenny gave us, I think you and I, one of the best pieces of advice when it comes to being stuck in your book.
Yep.
And here it is. Just make a flipping decision. Just make a flipping decision already and just write it down. Because by making a decision, you eliminate a lot of possibilities and you narrow down what can happen. And so, like Aleda was saying, she has her main character, Philip, it's actually, she's doing a retelling of Sleeping Beauty. And so Philip is her main character, and he has an older brother who everything always goes right for the older brother and nothing ever goes right for Philip. And so somebody in the group asked her, does he ever benefit from that? As she's trying to work things out. And she's like, I don't know. I'm stuck. I don't know. And I said, well, later, just decide. Does it benefit him? Yes or no? Because if you say yes, that narrows down possibilities about things that can happen with Philip. And if no, it doesn't benefit him being good all the time, then again, that guides the decisions that you can make while you're writing. And the thing that I think is great is it reflects, but guess what? It doesn't have, I froze.
Just a little bit. You're back now. Okay.
Writing is supposed to be reflective of real life, right? But it is not real life. In real life, you make a decision and there are consequences. And in writing, you make a decision and there are consequences. And if you don't like them, you get a do-over.
You can change it.
Pages and you change it. So it's not like as paralyzing. And I think we as writers allow ourselves to be paralyzed when we shouldn't. I mean, what's the point? We shouldn't. You make a decision.
I'll tell you what the point is. It's scary. So as someone who is a perfectionist, and I also have pretty severe anxiety, you want to get it right the first time because you don't want to have to go back and fix things, because that in and of itself is scary because you're just admitting that you didn't do it right the first time. I'm going down a rabbit hole here, I know. But it is scary making these decisions because you're like, well, what if I do it wrong and I ruin my book? No. Take it from somebody who knows, who has fixed a lot of mistakes in my book. You go back and you fix it and it's no big deal. And it's better the second time. It comes
back to that idea that most of us as writers were probably those A+ students in school and we always wanted the gold star. And so you think when you're writing, you need that gold star, that A+ on your first draft. And you don't. The whole point of the first draft is you're working out this huge story. And we need to take the pressure off of ourselves, you know, in order to be able to continue to move forward. And another thing, somebody said, yes, Mel.
Yes, me.
So the other thing that I think Jenny had us do that really was super helpful when it comes to making some of those decisions on things like characters is we stop what we're writing. You open a totally new document and you give yourself one page. And you just write whatever about that character that you can fit into the one page. Use that one page to try and work out some of those details. I know I've done it with world building. So I had some questions about what was going to happen in my world, and I've stopped what I was doing and opened up a new document and just written one page about my world. And I've done the same thing with characters.
Works really well for characters.
Super well for characters. And so I think that's another really great way to get yourself unstuck if you're worried about messing up your manuscript. I mean, even just the mental trick of I opened a totally new document is freeing. So, you know, because you know you really aren't messing anything up.
But I did it the other day, actually, when I was writing, I think it was chapter 13, and I had to work out why someone was doing something and what would be the consequence of that and why the other person didn't want them to do that. And that's what I did. I opened up a new document. It only took me like 10 minutes to figure this out. I just had to write it down and like poof, like my anxiety was gone. And I'm like, I know where I'm going with this. This is no big deal.
Hey, can we talk about something else you did in order to figure out a place where you were stuck?
Oh no, is this the gravel thing?
Can you tell everybody what you did with the gravel?
This is going to work its way back to my husband. I just know it. I'm going to get such shit for this. Sorry.
He's not in the Writer Moms group.
I know that, but somehow he's going to find out about this and he's going to be like, why did you do this to our car? Anyway, I had written a scene where my characters escaped in a car. And they got in the car. One of the characters slammed their foot on the gas. There was some gravel underneath the car, and the gravel like flew out as they sped away. In my mind, he had jumped in the car, like hit the gas, and then like shoved it into drive or something like that. I don't know. I watch a lot of movies, like whatever. So
But Jenny
anyway,
said, would that really happen?
yeah, Jenny questioned it. She's like, are they really going fast enough to make that happen? Because then he speeds up later, and I'm not seeing this work out. So it was bothering me. So I live in, it's not a semi-rural area. I live in a city, but I can get to the country pretty quick. So I drove out to the middle of the desert, and I found myself a gravelly road, just full of gravel, just chock full of gravel, top to bottom. And I opened the back door because my character's feet were hanging out of the back, so it had to be real. And then I got in the car and I revved the engine and I slammed it into drive. Guess what? It works. I did this several times.
I meant to ask you that the other day when you were talking about it.
Yes, it did. It took me a couple tries to get that. I had to really yank the wheel to get the door to shut, but our physicist husbands would give us some sort of, they would be like, that's inertia, or that's like motion times volume equals science. I don't know. So
some technical thing. But that's another really good tip for if you're stuck on something like an action scene or a sex scene, which you and I have already talked about. We will never be writing, just so the writer wants to know. Mel and I are like, we're going to leave that to the romance writers.
Can't touch that.
My friend Ruth has said she does it. She's a romance writer. She said that she does this with sex scenes. And then I met a writer, Molly Burnham, who writes for kids. She writes middle grades like I do. And she says there are a lot of times when she kind of has a little action in her story and she sits down to write it and she gets confused like about the order and what you would do. And she says she literally physically acts it out, just like you did the car and the gravel. And I don't know, I even think there's something about standing up and moving around and getting your body moving that gets your brain moving too. So I mean, maybe I'm not going to necessarily suggest we all go take our car out to some deserted gravelly road.
Don't be me.
Kick it into gear and like. But I mean, that was pretty Breaking Bad. Mel, I'm impressed.
I know I look average, but inside I'm a badass. Anyway, but no, I was actually writing an action scene the other day, that fight scene that I wrote, and I had, because there was a lot of motion and getting up and falling on the ground and all that. So I actually got up. I pretended my kitchen was this lab that this was happening in, and nobody played the part of my attacker, but I played the part of the victim really well. So
anyway, I'm thinking that our 20 minutes is pretty close to up. Believe it or not.
I'm kind of having fun though. I didn't think that I would enjoy this, but I'm pretending like the internet's not watching. So whatever. Well,
it's not like we don't do this all the time. Like, hey friends, what's going on?
It's true.
But anyway, somebody says, look, I totally practice expressions to take stock on how to write it. That's what Jenny was saying the other day, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So I think that's perfect. Anyway, I really have no idea how much time we have left.
Will it just shut us off when it's done?
I don't know. Should we just try this out and see if it shuts us off?
Like Kramer in Seinfeld when he's seeing how much gas he can, remember when he had the gas tank and he was like going and seeing how far he could go before the gas ran out? I think we should do that.
Every flip in Seinfeld ever. That's my favorite. So I can't believe I don't remember that one. I thought you were going to say something
about what?
All over his body to get the tan, but
that's my favorite. So
we can just talk until it shuts us off. I mean, this last part we could just nonsense because I don't know, maybe it might have already ended it.
Just swear words and sex jokes. That's what I want.
So Jenny was at Mom 2.0 last night and she ran into Suzanne Kearns, who's in this writers group.
Oh, yeah.
Really awesome. And there were a couple of other writer moms that write parenting books that KJ, our friend KJ Del Antonio was there and just wrote a book called How to Be a Happier Parent, which comes out, I think it comes out in May. So, because you can only pre-order it right now. But there were a couple of parenting books that I just loved the titles of. One was like called I'm Just Happy to Be Here. And it was a picture of like a dollhouse and half of it was burning down. I was like, dang, that's how I feel every day. Like, I'm just happy to be here.
Yeah.
And
I'm
another
surviving.
called, oh my God, what was the name of the other one? It had a great tagline. We're still on, somebody says. Yay!
Yay!
I'm trying to decide whether or not I should buy this program because it's like $12 a month, but I'm just cheap enough that I'm like,
It's a subscription?
It's a subscription. So you get 2 20-minute broadcasts a week with the free plan, which I feel like is because
that's plenty.
Like I feel like anybody wants to see my mug on Facebook Live like more than twice a week. But I was thinking if I subscribed, maybe they took the 20-minute time limit off. But really, the 20-minute time limit might be a good idea because it means we have to focus.
You know, I'm looking at my clock here, and I know we started a little after 11:30 my time, and now it's like 11:54. So I bet we have like 6 more minutes or something.
No, we only get 20 minutes.
Oh, that's 30 minutes. Oh, well, then I have no idea. Sorry.
Yeah. Oh, comment from Facebook. It's
what?
Something on YouTube.
Oh, should we click it? Is it a risky click?
I don't know. It might be a risky click like that email you sent me yesterday, Melanie.
My email got hacked, and I sent Abby some spam, apparently. And it was in French, too.
But it was such a brilliant spam because you and I had just gotten off the phone, and I had just told you that I thought Sean was going to have to go. I was going to have to drive our children and our 2 dogs all the way down the coast of the country and move my family all by myself while my husband stayed up here to work. And so anyway, I was like kind of torn up about it. Then I open this email from Melanie, and it says, I hope you're having a better day. I saw this online and thought of you. And then in the link, it had my name. And I thought, did someone write something wonderful about me online? Like my ego totally like stepped in and clicked.
It said, I hope you're having a better day.
I hope you're having a better day. I'm like, dang. That's why I thought it was real, because we had just gotten off the phone. I was like, Melanie.
I feel like our computers know a little too much about us.
Maybe, but you're right. The whole second half of the email was in French, so apparently I didn't read past that link.
Well, apparently they think we're French. I don't know. Or maybe it's a French hacker. I don't know. Bonjour. French hacker. I changed my password. So,
totally me.
Yeah.
So,
I hope it didn't send my email to like, I hope it didn't send that to like a bunch of other, I haven't heard anything. You're the only one who complained. So, okay.
Come on, Melanie. You really wrote me that French email.
I do.
Me to change my password, so I had to walk around to every device in my house and re-put it in, right? Because that's a pain in the butt. Like, is that not a first world problem right there when you're like, gosh darn it, I had to change my password, and now I have to relog into everything in my house.
Oh, yeah, the relogging. And I only have my phone and my computer, so I had like 2 things. I guess when I bring out the iPad that's collecting dust in the back of the house, I can do that too. So have we explained how to get unstuck, or are we just like...
I think we're good. We could probably hit end broadcast and just see what happens.
Okay, let's see what happens. What do we do? Bye.
We love you.
We love you.
See you back here again next week. So
later.
Bye.
Bye.